No, I can't have that type of pressure on me.
Do a camera rearrangement. Get both in frame.
Are we doing a camera rearrangement?
No.
Are we doing the couch set?
No, because if John's on, then John's got to be on the whole episode.
He can be on for the first half. He can give us a red flag. He's ready. Look at, he's ready.
If you want to come on, Johnny, come on.
Not really. I don't. It's your show. I would just yell at Jack, trying to tell him that he's playing with a young girl's heart.
Yeah. I'll make sure, John. I'll make sure. We'll get there.
God. This is what I signed up for. I might honestly have to make my Twitter even more private.
It's as private as it gets.
Bogus. No, he's saying he's about to block both of us.
I know, it was a joke.
You better not. We're out here. We're the ones. Oh.
I do tweet some funny just mostly.
Jack, Jack.
You podcast the way you tweet, and that is to make yourself laugh.
That is true. No one else truly matters. Not only podcast and Twitter, but also in life.
And there you have it, folks.
We're gonna get into
Don't
it.
get it twisted.
You ready, Jay?
Yeah.
All right.
I've been ready.
Music coming in.
No vests.
All right, welcome to episode 17. Wow, Jay, we are cruising right along. We got 4 episodes left. We're gonna go to episode 20, and then we will be taking a break before we start up season 2. Jay, how are you doing tonight?
Doing good. You know, a little hangover from the Memorial Day weekend. You know, it was a big party weekend. The river was cracking. You know, I didn't get into anything crazy, but you know, good weather, good drinks. We're here. Let's go.
There you go, man. I'm ready to hash some stuff out on episode 17. I think we got some good stuff. We got some stories. We got some red flags for the people. We got some other stuff. So we might as well just get into it.
Yeah. You know, the people have been asking a little bit, and by the people, I don't know how many people, but let's just say I think people are interested to know. You've been on what you have been quoted to call a bit of a hot streak. Would you agree with that statement? Would you say that that's a true quote?
No, I wouldn't say that's a true quote. I'm going to Colorado with a friend and with her family. We're gonna see how it plays out. I know, Jalen, I'm noticing a trend here. When these episodes starts, you like to come out swinging, land that first blow against me. You throw the fastball early. You want to land your shot. I mean, is this a trend you plan on keeping up in future episodes?
No, I just think when duty calls, you know what I'm saying, and as a no-vester, you know what I'm saying, I see my buddy, and he's swimming in these deep ends, and I'm not necessarily, I'm not whistleblowing or anything. I just want to, I know you know how to read signs, and I know you've passed swim tests. I don't know. I just want to make sure that you don't got the blinders on too much a little bit. I think you may or may not have the blinders on a little bit.
Yeah, I think anyone at times can get a little carried away initially. At that first step, that first sight, you can be taken off guard. You can let your guard down. Even the experienced no-vesters, we all slip up. I'm not saying that that's what is happening or what's gonna happen.
No, and I'm not saying that either. I just want to. I think. And the main topic at hand here that we're going to get into is meeting the parents, because we spoke on this a few episodes back. You took your trip to a miscellaneous state, an out-of-state trip, if you will.
Yeah.
And this, I don't know if you knew this or not, but this was a trip to meet the parents. And I know we've all seen the movie. Meet the Parents. And I'm not too up on the plot, but I want to say that he was going to meet the parents for the first time, and they were like borderline about to get engaged. I think was the plot of the movie. Like, I'm gonna meet the parents. I gotta ask for the hand in marriage. I've never met the parents before. Meeting the parents is a big step. It's a big move, and I think you might have jumped a couple steps on the ladder, and now you're swimming in that. You might be jumping off that high dive. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
So I think that, there are obviously, scenarios where, you might just skip you might just skip a couple steps. Let's just be real.
Right.
Scenarios come up. Now the
fast track.
The scenario that has in the one that's playing out before me is I am going on a trip, and it's gonna be basically a family vacation plus Otchi. That's basically what the deal is. But you gotta look at it like this, Jay. Had it not been like that, all the extra expenses that you might have, hotel, some food, some rent, like all those expenses, you know what I'm saying? So you almost gotta look at it from both sides. You know what I'm saying?
I do, and this comes up in a lot of other scenarios too. Like, I'm glad to know that you're taking a step back and you're looking at the bigger picture, and that is a good sign. And you're being aware of what's going on. So yeah, no, cutting a couple costs. Like, odds are the parents are going to probably pick up her dinner. Now, that might save you on a couple dinners. Like you said, the hotel. You know what I'm saying? They're doing well. They'll probably just take care of that. Like I agree with what you're saying. There's some expenses that can maybe get wiped off with this family trip. I just hope you're not downplaying the significance of these the attendances that you're making at these trips. Like,
I think you could be overplaying the significance a little bit. Now, I don't know if there's some skeletons in your closet where maybe you met the parents early and maybe it hasn't gone in favor of Jay Fish. Now, I don't know kind of what we're getting into here, but it sounds like you may have this theory where you're not ready to meet the parents until, you're asking for this girl's hand in marriage, Jay. I mean, where are we going with this, Jay?
No. So I'm gonna refute that. In pretty much all of my scenarios, it was all well with the parents. Now, with that being said, I was never like eager to meet the parents. You following me here? Like, eventually, things went, couple dates, you're spending the night or whatever, and then it's like, okay, I should probably, I'm around enough where they probably are talking about me. I should probably meet them, right?
Yeah.
And everything went well. But I think you are skipping huge steps. You met this chick, this beautiful woman, and you met her parents, I think, like within a couple days after. No? Like, you've known her parents about as long as you've known her. And I don't know. I just think that's a wild scenario. I don't think many people can say they went through this. So I want you to document a little bit, as you have. You've let us in. So I'm just simply trying to
I've definitely
open you up a little bit.
Yeah. I've definitely given a sneak peek into Otchi Jen's personal life a little bit, and it is what it is. But I'd say, Jay, people always told us growing up, like, when you're in elementary school, whatever, you got to practice your handshake because you can tell a lot from a man's handshake. And they say in business meetings, like, the handshake's really important. And I'm in business meetings, and I can tell you the handshake's not a big deal. It is what it is. As long as you make contact with their hand, you're pretty much good. Now in
the COVID days, like, the handshakes, it doesn't hold up as much. But are you telling me that, like, you don't, like, if a guy dead fishes you and just kind of gives you a little thing, it doesn't bother you at all?
I'm saying where the handshake comes in greater significance is that first time you're meeting the dad, you got to give that handshake where it's like, I'm not here to be an asshole, but I'm not going to let you walk all over me either. Like, there's... there may have been one man in the house now. Now there's two. You're going to have to make room for two. You
Yeah,
know?
it's a battle because it's 50% you want to go in on the defensive, you want to get a read for how he's coming.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you want to assert yourself and let him know that you can shake the hand. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? In all aspects of life. So I agree that first handshake is very crucial, but probably a little bit more. So you're leaning into what I'm saying. You're going and you're trying to make these good impressions early, and then you're like, oh yeah, like it's a friend, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like you're putting out a lot of effort and a lot of you're putting a lot of work into this friendship. Would you?
No,
No.
I'm not gonna go on MVP and throw any titles around. So I'm gonna leave that to you. But
Yeah.
I'd say that you value certain friendships or whatever they might be or whatever they could potentially become. And you want to give a good impression.
Yeah.
To the parents. I think you're right, Jay. I think that I wouldn't even say like that. Even the first handshake is, but it's like, we gotta talk football. Like I need to know what your stance is, like on certain different teams, who you're rooting for. Like we gotta just nail out like where are we drawing the line, stuff like
You
that.
like I'm pretty sure this was. I mean, we can cut it out or whatever, but I think we brought up it was This was an Iowa trip. This is the Iowa ting fling. So I like to think that we could draw allegiance within the Big Ten. Like we show respect to our
Yeah,
conference mates.
that's
So
that.
little things like that. Like as long as he show respect is shown, lines can be crossed for sure. So I agree with what you're saying. You just want to touch base, and you want to make sure that some points are hit early. And I guess you're trying to check boxes early. And I'm here for it. I want to make sure that you didn't like, because you know what they say, like you have to wait 30 minutes after eating a meal to go and swim, because with the way that you digest,
Yeah.
and like you could get caught in the undercurrents and things like that. Like I just want to make sure that all boxes are checked. You're checking. You know what I'm saying? You're dotting your i's, you're crossing your
No,
t's. I'm just here for you, Jack. That's all.
I absolutely am. I totally am. I think this is pretty funny.
With that said, I think we will be looking for an update on how this Colorado trip goes. I know you're excited. I actually love Colorado Springs and Denver. I've dabbled, I've been there a few times. I've got some friends out there, so if you need any recommendations, go ahead and hit me. I like Colorado Springs and Denver a lot. They're great cities.
All right, sounds good. So I want to, yeah, I mean, I definitely will just, maybe end the recording and stay on, and we can talk Colorado Springs a little bit. But Jay, I wanted to get into before we do the red flags of the week, I wanted to get into a story because I just gotta tell you. So I got multiple stories within one story here. So
Whoa, a
on
story inception, if you will.
story inception. So I went to the municipal
Whoa.
city court and
Okay.
circuit court, and I had to basically refute a speeding ticket that I got like 10 months ago. And they said, well, you gotta like pay it or do like a Zoom thing. I'm like, you had the option to wait it out with COVID. So they finally determined that COVID is done. And so first off, I didn't even realize I had court that day. I get a call. They're like, are you still coming to your court date at 10 a.m.? I'm like, yep. So I shoot down to court. I realize that I have like a pretty important call I was supposed to make at like 10 or, between 9:30 and 10. So I
Right.
park on the street and I get the call from the guy and I'm talking to him. I'm in my car. I'm there way early, so I got a little bit of time. And this lady starts hollering at me. She's like coming down the street. She's parked right by me. She gets out of her car and I hear her yelling at me. And I'm in my car parked, like keys off, whatever, just talking. And she keeps hollering. I'm like looking at her in the mirror. I'm like, what is she doing? She's walking right up. She gets next to my window and knocks on my window. And I look at her and I'm like pointing my phone, like, get away from me, crazy lady. What the hell's your problem? She does it again. She knocks again. I go, sorry, I'm going to have to unfortunately call you back. I basically had to like hang up on the spot. Like, dude, phone call's over. I gotta go. Boom. Roll in my window. She's like, "You're not in a parking spot." I'm like, "Yes, I am." I look at the signs again. I'm like, "I'm 100% in a parking spot." And she somehow disputed the fact that I was legally parked. I was completely legally parked. I just ignored her, got on my car, and went down to court. Dude, people at court are crazy. Now, I get in. I'm finally actually in the right building. And I get in. I think it's going to be in person because, they finally waited. I didn't have to do the Zoom thing. So I'm there in person. And there's a big flat screen TV with the court, or with the judge, the, clerk, 2 or 3 other people. The only person who was actually there in person was the bailiff. And I'm, they're like, are you going to plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest to your speeding ticket? Now, if you pay your speeding tickets just outright when you get them, I got to tell you, Vesters.
You're a sucker a little bit.
You're an idiot. You go to court, it takes 20 minutes. You get your points knocked down, normally in half. No, you just plead no contest and knock it in half. Your car insurance won't skyrocket. But anyway, so the judge is like,
let me throw another tidbit in there. What you do is you could even go I don't know, I'm going to say you go the not guilty route, and then you ask them when was the last time that they checked their radar guns. You're supposed to do like an update basically on your radar guns, and 9 times out of 9 the cops haven't done the update or whatever the hell I'm speaking of, a radar gun, and you tell them, yeah, that was a malfunction on their radar gun. Boom, you're out of there. That's a pro tip for the boys.
That is never played out in real time. I don't believe that.
100%. I've done it.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Tell me. Yeah, try it. It's essentially what you said, but you throw a little bit of sauce on it, is all I'm saying. And you get points reduced, and you get, less fine. So it happens. It's real.
So, the judge goes, okay, whatever, 2 points. I'm like, good. He's like, all right, is that anything? Anything else you want to say? And I said, you people should be here in person. Why am I here in person and you're not here in person? And they said,
oh no.
They said, well, COVID. And I said, you guys don't know coronavirus is over? And the judge goes, what, are you a COVID expert? And who gives you the right to determine it's over? I go, I didn't determine it's over. Everyone determined it's over. You guys need to get back here. I'd like to see your face in person. He's like, I appreciate that, but we're gonna take our advice from the experts. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get out of this courtroom before he tries to give me 4 points instead of 2.
Yeah, but that's tough. That's pretty funny though.
I will say, now I want another story to coexist with this story. So I went to Little Caesars 2 nights ago, and if you go to Little Caesars or the DMV or the court, you always think when you're about to go and like, maybe this time it'll be different than the last 10 times I've been here. Maybe it'll be people dressed nice, smart people who don't, mind their own business. No, every time you go to the DMV, Little Caesars, or the Circuit Court, it's an absolute hellhole of idiots. They're talking on their speaker phones. They're rude. The workers are in a horrible mood. It's just the worst areas you can go in the world.
I do agree, but I think you and you have that, you're ready for it. You go there, it's coming. So you almost don't expect anything less. I know that every now and then you maybe get hopeful. Yeah. And you're like, hey, maybe it's normal, but it never is.
Like maybe this time, it's like maybe this time I go to the DMV in the not so best neighborhood. Maybe there'll just be like a really normal, cute girl. Her number might be right in front of mine in line. It's right. You always hold out a little bit of hope, but man, you go to the DMV, it never happens. So I was at Little Caesars and I ordered online. I'm ready to come in, get my $5 hot and ready, right? With a little bit of crazy bread. And of course. The lady in front of me, didn't have like the correct amount of money she needed for her pizzas. And she's like, hold on, I got to run out to my car real quick and get the money. And she's like, hold my spot in line. And I was next. I'm right behind her in line, and there's like 4 or 5 people behind me. And she runs out to her car, and she's gone for like, I kid you not, we could see her through the window. I don't know if she didn't have the money in her car or what was going on, but she was scrambling, trying to find quarters. It's taken like a minute, and the cash register lady isn't like waving me up. So I kind of walk up, and I'm like,
let's get this going.
Let's get this going. Order for Jack. And she's like, hold on. And the people behind me are like, I can feel the pressure that they want me to feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're kind of like,
especially because you are at the front now.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you're holding up the line.
Yeah.
At least that's how they see it. They're like, why isn't this guy going yet? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I agree, but there's more.
No,
sure.
so I did skip her, and I did get my pizzas, and then she came back in and skipped the guy behind me. But that's just a super weird scenario where, like, you're the next guy in line and there's 5 people behind you. Like, I've had that same scenario happen with the guy who gave the money to the homeless man and he held up the entire green arrow. Like, I was the one right behind him, you know what I'm saying? It's like, all the pressure is always just on that one car or one person behind.
I agree.
And it's always me, and I always play it extremely aggressive. Like, I'll honk, I'll walk right to the front.
You'll skip that line. Yeah.
And I was at Jimmy John's the other day. Let me just keep rattling off these stories, man. I was at Jimmy John's the other day.
I'm making mental notes. I'm going to backtrack on all this, so go ahead.
Okay, this is my last one, and then we can backtrack. I was at Jimmy John's the other day, and I walk in, and I walk there, and I truly didn't have a mask. I just forgot it, and I also don't wear one. And so I walk in, and the lady's like, sir, you need to put a mask on. And I said, well, I don't have one, and I walked here. And she said, well, we can't take your order then. And I said, well, will you give me one? I'm fine with taking one from you. She's like, no, we don't have any extra. And I look at her and I go, I'll take the number 5, no tomatoes. And I just start ordering. And she looks at me as if I'm just the dumbest person in the world. And she's not putting it on the computer system. I look at the guy behind her, I point at him and I say, I'll take a number 5. And that guy walks up to the register and takes my order. Sometimes you just have to do it.
Yeah, and that's like, I've seen the people where it's like, you don't have a mask, even let's say in like the drive-through even, and you give them like, here, I'm just take the money, and they're like, no, you need a mask, and it's like, okay, well then give me a mask, and then they hand you a mask. It's like, what's kind of the difference in me, you handing me a mask or me handing you the, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's an exchange nonetheless. So what makes that one better? It's just none of it really makes sense. That guy was just trying to get you your sandwich. He all he knows is freaky fast. I kind of like that guy.
I do too.
But so I want to run it back. Something that you said, you go to the DMV, you go to the courthouse, you go to Little Caesars. Somehow those are all connected. But it's like you always see these weirdo people, and yet you go and I go. I'll say we. Yet we continue to go every time, right? And so it's I'm not gonna say that I'm like a weirdo, like like cracked out guy that's like knocking on windows and shit, but like we're all kind of the same in a way because we still are gonna throw down that hot and ready with some crazy bread. With that said, a Little Caesars conversation is meant to be had here, because there is the people that have no problem throwing down 5 easy bucks, and if you're really feeling it that night, you throw 5 more down, you get crazy bread and maybe a soda or something, you know what I'm saying? And you have a pizza party all of a sudden, right?
Yeah.
There's the people that have no problem with doing that. And then there's no middle ground. There's just the people that just ridicule you, and they'll talk shit about Little Caesars. And they say, oh, it's trash pizza. It tastes like this. It tastes like that. It's no good. And it's just, there's a cold place in hell for those people, or there's a hot, warm place in hell. Whatever the word is, those people really piss me off because I love Little Caesars. I have no problem with throwing down $5 on a hot and ready. And it's just, it works every time. And people that hate on Little Caesars, I hate them. What do you have to say to that?
I've been on both sides of this spectrum. So when I was growing up, did not really like Little Caesars. I got to the point where I was just a snobby son of a bitch, and I preferred, just better, higher quality pizza. And I'm not going to lie to you. It wasn't my money being spent on the pizza. Anyway, I didn't care.
Okay.
I'm demanding Domino's. I'm demanding, something a little bit higher quality, a little bit more pricey, but clearly better. Then, now I'm paying for my own pizza. I have no problem eating some Little Caesars. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I will say I was one of those people that, like, if I was at a buddy's house and it's like, oh, my dad's picking up pizza right now, it's like, I'm that guy who's like,
come back with Caesars.
I'm that guy who's like, well, where's he picking it up from? And they're like, Little Caesars, and I'm visibly distraught. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
like Caesars, come on, like I'll pay for it if we can just get some Domino's up in here, man.
Right, and I'm glad that you have enough self-awareness to realize that you were wrong in that, because at the end of the day, when you get Little Caesars, that's not to discredit the fact that there are better pizzas. Just because I'm grabbing a Little Caesars doesn't mean that, and I say that I enjoy a Little Caesars, that doesn't mean that I'm unaware of the fact that there's great pizzas out there that are way better than Little Caesars. That's obvious, right? Like, obviously, if I want a really good pizza, I'm not going to Little Caesars. But there is a time and a place for Little Caesars. And like this, I've seen this tweet. It probably went viral. I can't credit anyone because I've probably seen it many times. But Little Caesars tastes so much better when there's not a little shithead like you saying like, oh, Domino's is so much better than this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know that, all right? But this isn't bad for $5. So get the fuck off my back. I'm here. I'm riding for Little Caesars. I'm riding for Little Caesars.
You're ready to go to war for Little Caesars.
I will. And I don't even get it that often, but there's a time and a place for Little Caesars, and it works every time. And Crazy Bread is unmatched.
Crazy Bread is
unmatched.
Different. Crazy Bread is different, but I don't know if it's even worth dealing with the people. Now, Jalen, when we mentioned
Jeff, because you said you're quoted. We can reverse the quote. You said, I think it's different than the last 10 times I've been here, but it's not. So that just said you've been there 10 plus times. Like you continue to go there. You go to Little Caesars, Jack.
Jalen,
don't hide it.
But I want you to listen to me with this point. The DMV and the circuit court are places that you have to go there, and you have to. You don't.
You can avoid it. I've been driving without a license for 4 years. I don't go to the DMV. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, it's kind of a problem, but it's not, because I get pulled over. I show them my ID, and they're like, "Oh, like, yeah, you gotta go to the DMV and get this figured out." I'm like, "All right, yeah, I'm on my way there right now," and then I never get a ticket, and it works out. So I'm gonna continue to roll the dice and not go to the DMV. However, and same thing with the tickets. I'm not gonna lie. I have gone to the court, I'll say less than a handful of times, and I've had more than a handful of tickets. So the percentage is low. I don't like to go to those places. The court and the DMV, those are two not fun places.
They're not.
I'll admit that.
It's like the dentist's office is just miserable. But
yeah.
Jalen, let's get into some red flags of the week here, man. I think we're at that time period where let's rip some RFWs. You want to go first? Or you want me?
You go ahead and throw yours. I don't know that people. I'm hoping people stop listening. That's not true. I want people to continue to listen, but I feel like I might piss some people off with this. But you go ahead.
Wow, I think even more people are going to tune in now. So my red flag of the week. Last week I said it kind of off air, but it ended up making the episode, so it wasn't truly off air. But I will say it again. It's the people who change their bit emojis on Snapchat to deal with the seasons, or they change their outfits. Now, I don't want to dive into... I feel like I can go 2 for 1 this week, Jay, because I did say this one last week. So we are going to give me the 2 for 1. But my initial one is changes of the bit emoji. Now, if you don't know what a bit emoji is, it's basically your avatar on Snapchat. And people will change it. They'll put glasses on. They'll change their outfits. They'll do like a weird like Santa Claus hat for Christmas. You gotta red flag that, man. You gotta steer clear.
I agree. It's really weird. I think Snapchat is very weird in general. And when they added that, and people took it way too seriously. When they get a haircut, then their Bitmoji gets a haircut. It's like they get a new shirt, their Bitmoji gets a new shirt. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can't keep up. It's like you're messaging people, and then you're like, what? You get used to maybe one of them, and then they have new hair. You're like, is this the same? Am I talking to the same person? It's like, you can never really keep up with it, and it just shows is you're spending way too much time on your phone, and you probably care about way too much things that absolutely don't matter. And I know that sentence didn't make sense, but I'm going with it.
No,
I agree though.
Yeah, we don't fact check. We don't go back on non-grammatically correct sentences either. So
No.
But my second one, Jay, is people who have the app that tracks if you get followers and unfollowers. Now I have to credit. I have to credit my boy.
It's huge.
I have to credit my boy Ian Quast for that one. He didn't say it when he was on air, but I think he was the first person to say that. The people who, if they'll get like a notification or they'll go onto an app and they'll see that someone unfollowed them, and then they will be disgruntled, and they will then automatically unfollow them after.
Yeah.
It's if you care that much about who follows you and who doesn't follow you, I'm sorry, man. You got to take a long, hard look in the mirror and determine, do I even have the integrity to even be on social media? Like, I don't know, man. It's just ridiculous.
It's weird. It's weird. And yeah, you just it's just you're on your phone way too much, and you care way too much. You know what I'm saying? Because you shouldn't care who follows you anyways.
No.
And then to know who doesn't follow you or is no longer following you, that's just like another level of just like you're in way too deep and your mind is not in the right place. You're doing the social medias for all the wrong reasons if you're in that game, I think.
I had to go and unfollow a lot of like girls we went to high school with that I just like thought to myself, I'm like, wow, I'll never see them again in person, most likely. And I just don't want to, waste time out of my day seeing updates about their life or whatever, because I just truly don't care. So I unfollowed a lot of them, not out of like any other reason, just in like I purely didn't want to see it,
Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing more than you just didn't want to follow that anymore. Like it's that simple. Like,
people don't want to follow
interested.
me. People, it's like I'll maybe never
Please.
see her. Absolutely, spend more time with the people you're around.
Yeah, I never like asked anyone to follow me, to be honest. So it's like I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know like what the. I don't know. It's really weird. It's really weird. Now, I think. Would you say that's it? That's all you got for us?
That's all I brought to the table this week, Jay.
Okay. Now, I don't know how this is going to go. I'm not going to lie. I've been trying to throw some stuff out. I mean, I've been trying to get us canceled.
Yeah,
and basically the point that I'm trying to make is we're not big enough until something I say gets us canceled. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to drop another one that people are going to get upset with. And it's not just girls, because guys do it too. They just do it in different ways. And, girls don't want to believe it. Guys don't want to believe it. It's true. If you have any kind of plastic surgery, we'll call it, any kind of
injections.
Injections, removals, any kind of, I don't know what the overarching term is, but yeah, we're going to go with any kind of injections. The lip fillers, the boob jobs, the butt jobs, you know what I'm saying? The guys will get they'll like, you can get pumped up, get abs, you know what I'm saying? People say Drake did it. Who knows? But, even like steroids even kind of go into that, on the guy side. Absolutely. That kind of even, any kind of enhancement like that, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know. I think it goes way deeper, but I think social media has a big part in it. I think people want to look a certain way because of what they see all day.
Yeah.
And I'm not here for it. You know what I'm saying? People,
No, all
of a sudden they wipe out, and then it's like, oh my God, she looks completely different. You know what I mean? The Kylie Jenner effect. They see Kylie Jenner, like, how does Kylie Jenner look like that? All of a sudden it's like, well, she kind of just had it sculpted, essentially.
I would agree, and I honestly think, like, performance enhancers for guys like steroids is honestly more common than we I think are led to believe in society. Because some of the guys I see at the gym, I'm like, there's just no physical way. You could be here all day lifting weights. It doesn't matter. You don't get certain muscles like in certain areas. You like can't work out, your collarbone that much to the point where it's like up here by your eyeballs. But
Right.
no, I think when I was like in like a CCD like church class one time, I don't know why this came up in church class, but they were like talking about like girls being very self-conscious about their bodies when being compared to models, and society pushes like a certain type of look, basically like people being confident in their bodies. And I thought, okay, that's true probably for a few people, whatever. But now I'm like, I think like you said with social media, I think it's just so much more than that. I think now you have like literally you have cute girls editing pictures to compete with like actual supermodels. It's like, no, you're already attractive, just let it be. And then it's just a never ending effect. Then girls, the other girls are now editing their pictures trying to look like that. It's just a never ending cycle of just horribleness.
The editing the pictures is one thing. I just think it's an even deeper red flag when those same cute girls, they've edited the pictures 100 times, and that even that's not. They're like, no, I need to actually go get like my face like cut up and like sculpted to physically look different. I need to look different than I do right now.
I will say, and I know
that's just like too much to me. I think
differed on this, Jay, but I am a sucker for. I will say the lip injections, they can get me in trouble. I'm not even gonna lie.
You're scared for the lip injections?
Yes.
Well, now I think it's a close line, because I think you might like a nice thicker lip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Had you seen them before, and then you see them after, it's like, what just happened here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that you would like. If you were privy to the information that the lips are in fact fake, that you would be as interested.
No,
would you agree or would you disagree?
I don't know. I think it looks good either way. Like, who am I to judge if it's fake or not fake? And at the end of the day, I like them looking like bunk beds. You know what I'm saying? Just big old.
Okay. Now, I'm not saying it looks bad. I'm not saying that. I just think that there's deeper issues that lie. That's where the red flag comes in. I'm not saying that.
There's definitely going to be some more red flags that are lying underneath that. And no, I completely agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying.
Right. It looks good. They do it because it looks good. I get that.
Sometimes it looks bad, though.
Sometimes it does look bad. And we won't have to. We don't have to get. And yeah, like even the guys, like people. I'm not just talking about girls here, because guys do it too. Like, dude, some guys, it's like, bro, take it easy on the roids. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're fucking huge. That doesn't, like, at some point it doesn't even look good anymore. It's like,
no, I think maybe we need.
It's too much.
We need to bring this up. Another episode. This could be a whole nother topic. Is like shorter guys that get like super buff because what I'm saying. I feel like that is
compensate. Like, that is kind of a thing.
It's totally a thing, and like. But every once in a while I see like like a 6'4" dude like just roided up. It's like, wow, you just want to be like the largest human being you can possibly be. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But yeah. It's extreme.
It's totally extreme. So your red flag of the week was just any plastic surgery. Now, Jay, my question for you is: anyone in particular that you would say is a bigger red flag than the other would? I mean, would you say? Like the lip injections is the biggest red flag, or are you just categorizing all? Is there one you can specifically say you're red flagging more than the rest?
No, because then, no, I don't think so. I just think if at any point, like if you need to go above natural measures to enhance your appearance. Appearance enhancement at any point, if you need to go beyond like normal, like if you need to any kind of surgery to do that, I just think that too many deep flags
are drawing. In your... No, I have one more question that I want to unpack here. Are we drawing the line at surgery? So like are like permanent eyelash extensions or hair extensions or like laser removal like where are we going with this, Jay? I mean, it's your red flag of the week, man. I stumped him.
No, you didn't stump me. I think we can draw the line at the surgical. I gotta fly to a different state where it's legal. I gotta go to the other country where the doctors are cheap. Like those kind of things. Like that's probably where I draw the line. Like if you want longer hair and you need hair extensions, sure. Like I'm not gonna. I mean, there's a shorter red flag. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not as big and wavy.
Yellow.
It's probably like a yellow flag. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna proceed with caution. But there is that next level where it's like I gotta go to Miami, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I gotta go to Mexico because the doctor in Mexico, he's not gonna care if my mom's there. I'm 17, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's when it becomes too much.
All right, Jay. I want to get into one last topic here before we sign off, and this is like something I've noticed real recently is like. If you're hanging out with like a group of girls, like you'll hear like if one of the girls starts like just recently talking to like a new guy, you know what I'm saying? They're all like scheming and coordinating and plotting, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all like every text you send gets read to a group of 100%. People or gets put into like a group chat. And then it's like you're almost not even texting the person you're texting. You're not. You're texting her friends. You're texting her friends.
Yeah, and it's worse when you're the guy. And any guy that doesn't think that their texts are being analyzed by all her friends and everything like that. Any guy that doesn't believe that, they're like, oh no, she doesn't show them. Like, come on, bro. You're being foolish. So yeah, it's almost worse when you're the guy. And yeah, you might hesitate. You know what I'm saying? To send certain texts. You're like, hold on, I know she's going to tell everybody. Like, this is going screenshot right to the group chat. You know what I'm saying? And yeah. And it's worth, like, all it does is reassure you that they're doing the same to your shit. You know what I'm saying? Or at least for the first month or wherever that, you're the new guy at least. They're definitely all interested. They're all so interested. A lot of it becomes jealousy. I'm sure a lot of the other friends are single, so they're trying to, like, live vicariously through this other girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It gets pretty nasty. And yeah, then like you said, you don't know who you're talking to because all their other friends are projecting their thought. Like, oh, you should say this, you should say this. Somehow they come up with like a shitty combination of all of it together. None of it really makes sense. So yeah, it's bad. It's bad. And I do feel bad for those guys because I don't think guys really do that. In fact, I know guys don't do that. Guys don't do that at all.
No, it's not like, hey man, like I need help. Like, what should I text? Like,
yo, look what she said. Look what she said. What should I say? I've never got that off. No. Maybe it happens. I'm sure it happens, but maybe it's like look what do it too.
Maybe it's like look what she said, but it's not like I don't need your.
Yeah, I've already responded, bro. Like,
I can handle it from here. Just fine.
Yeah, it is weird. I don't know. I don't know what else there is to say about that, but it definitely happens.
It's especially when you get in like a group and you hear it, you know what I'm saying? And they're all so invested.
Way too invested. Way too invested.
Absolutely. But I mean, Jay, I think that's all we got for episode 17. I mean, we're coming up on our time limit here. Like I said, this is episode 17. We're going 20 deep. Still like, subscribe. Let us know in the comments section if you want us to talk about a specific topic. We do have a long list of people waiting to get on as a guest, but we're always here for you guys. So just appreciate all the no-vesters out there, and let's keep rocking.
100%. And yeah, just real quick, for all the YouTube watchers out there, we get way more YouTube views than we do subscribers. So shouts out to all the subscribers that we have. But if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, it's like, what are you doing? Click the little button. It's right down there. You know what I'm saying? Tap that subscribe button and tap in. We come every fucking Thursday, and it's going to continue to be that way. There'll be a little break, but you can depend on that. You know what I'm saying? No vesters.
We'll be back. Yeah. That's all we got. Thank you to Olivia Anderson last week for coming out. It was a great guest appearance, so we appreciate that. And we'll be back same time next week. Thanks to all my no-vesters out there.